Hello, Bright Thinkers. Today we're going to walk through the steps on how to add or enroll users into a course. From your admin app, you're going to come up to the main menu or those three stacked lines in the top left-hand corner. Once you've clicked onto your main menu, you're going to come down to Courses. Once you've clicked onto Courses, you're going to either scroll or you can use that filter in the top left to search for the course that you are looking for. Once you've located the course, you're going to click onto the course ID to the left of the title. From the course's detail page, you'll have tabs in the top left corner. One of them will be Enrollments. You'll want to click onto the Enrollments tab. If you already have current or past enrollments within the course, you will have them listed out here on this page. However, if you don't have any or you haven't previously enrolled anyone into the course, this will just be blank. There won't be anybody listed here. In order to create a new enrollment, whether that is teacher or student, for example, you'll navigate to the plus button in the top right. It'll say New when hovered over. Once you click onto the plus button, you're going to scroll down. The users line is what you're looking for. You'll have three lines stacked together on the far right of this users line. When you click there, it's going to populate for you all of your users you've already created that are active. You can either scroll to find the user you're looking for, or you can use the search bar to type in their name. Once you've located the user, you'll just click right onto their name. You'll notice below the user line to the bottom right, you have the option to add another user. So if you'd like to add multiple users to this course at one time, you may do so by clicking on Add Another User and following the same steps with the three lines on the far right. Below the user lines, when you scroll down, you'll notice you have a role option. It's going to automatically populate to students, so if you're not enrolling students, you'll want to click onto that drop-down arrow to the right. And for example, if you're enrolling a teacher, you'll just want to select Teacher for the teacher role. A teacher will not see the teacher app when clicking on their Rubik's Cube or when logging into the platform if they have not been enrolled into a course as a teacher. Once a user has been enrolled into a course as a teacher, they will then see that teacher app. Below the role, you'll have a start and end date option. The start and end date is what's going to affect access for the user to the course, as well as if they are in a continuous course, it'll also affect the pacing for their targeted due dates. The start date for a student will be the first day that they see the course when they log in, and it'll be the first day that they're allowed to submit work. The end date for a student will be the last day that they have to submit work. They'll be able to see the course when they log in for about 2 to 3 weeks after the end date, but they will not be able to submit past this date unless you come in and extend that end date for them. A teacher will automatically have early access to a course before their start date, and they'll have about 2 to 3 weeks after their end date for any final grading and things like that. We do recommend that teachers and students have the same start and end date for continuous courses if they would like to see the pacing and targeted due dates on their calendar match. However, it's not required. You may always select the role and scroll down to see what permissions that role gives the user. You do not have to check or uncheck anything here. It just lets you know what they'll be given when you assign this role to the user. Once you've selected the role, you've given a start and end date. And please keep in mind, when entering your dates, make sure the year is accurate as well. Sometimes when you select a start date, it may push the end date out to a year you didn't intend it to be. So you can either type in those dates itself, or you may simply click onto that little calendar icon to the far right and locate the date you're intending and click on it there. Just make sure that end date, that year end date, is the correct one you're intending it to be. Once you're done with the information and it looks correct, you'll scroll back up to the top right and you'll click Create in the top right corner. This will now give you that user's enrollment information. If for some reason you need to change the role, maybe you chose the wrong one on accident, or you need to adjust those start and end dates, you can always click onto the enrollment ID to the far left And when you scroll down, this will allow you to change either the role, the status of the enrollment, or that start and end date. This is also a great way to extend that end date if the student needs more time. If you make any changes, you'll just want to click Save in the top right, and then you can click the back arrow in the top left to go back to your enrollments page. Thank you for your time today, Bright Thinkers.